What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, the Weaponsmith's Workshop update has finally hit. Many new early game weapons have been introduced, and one particularly caught my eye. This new weapon is the Artisanal Shortbow, sold by the Weaponsmith in the Skyblock hub for only 600 coins. This is the third shortbow introduced into Hypixel Skyblock after the Juju and the Terminator. And I got myself one where I put on basic enchants and the Unreal Reforge, and I'll be pretty much testing out how good it is and if it lives up to the shortbow name with the Juju and the Terminator. Of course, using my current armor set isn't really going to be a good damage test since most people using the Artisanal Shortbow will not be wearing my kind of armor. So I went ahead and bought myself a set of pretty much just pure, regular, unstable dragon armor, which is a pretty good early game damage setup, and I'll be trying it out with that. Alright, and our first test will be taking place in the graveyard. I'll be using no pet for this test, but do keep in mind I do have talismans and higher skills than most people at the early game, so that may increase the damage I deal. Alright, going into the graveyard, it seems I'm dealing like 5.6 thousand, which is not very impressive, but honestly not bad considering how fast this thing can shoot and you can just pretty much spam it. And especially with this armor, you're easily able to one-shot the Crypt Ghoul, which is actually quite impressive considering that's like the first big milestone for an early game player, being able to farm Crypt Ghouls. Of course, it won't be enough to be able to one-tap the Golden Ghoul, but you can still kill it relatively quickly just spamming it. And just spamming this thing, honestly, it feels like extremely good and like a very good farming weapon. I'm now going to test this armor set out in the end and see if it's also able to attack Enderman or not, because it doesn't have it in its description like the Juju or the Terminator. So let's see. Okay, so you cannot actually attack Enderman with it. So Endermen are immune. I'll test out on other end mobs and see how overall Dragon's Nest is for this, but I don't think he'll be very effective. Yeah, I can't even one-shot the Obsidian Defender, and I don't think it can kill the Zealot. It cannot. Okay. So, in the end, you would likely be looking at a different weapon than the Artisanal Shortbow. Doesn't seem to be very effective here. For the final test for this bow, I'll be using it in floor 1 dungeons using the same armor set. Do keep in mind that this bow is not dungeonizable, and it also can't be starred, so it probably will not be very good inside of dungeons. Also note that I have a pretty high kata level, so floor 1 might seem easier than it would be if you were using this gear. Alright, so we are in the dungeon, and I just partied with some random people, so we'll see how this goes. So as I'm using unstarred, like it has 2 stars on the boots, but everything else is non-starred and just the Artisanal Shortbow I was using before. Let's see how this goes. Okay, I'm also using no pet. Okay, from what I'm seeing, even with my kata level, it's kind of a struggle to deal any damage with this bow in dungeons. So I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, because I'm not taking any damage, even with my armor, but I'm not dealing any damage. Let's see how I do against the Redstone Warriors. Even against my explosive shot. Yeah, I'm not dealing any damage whatsoever. But as you can see, I haven't even lost half a heart, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't think this is a very good weapon for dungeons. It's more just like an early game shortbow. However, within the early game, it is not bad. Alright guys, so that was pretty much the testing of how good the Artisanal Shortbow actually is, and in my opinion, it is obviously a very weak weapon, but considering the fact that it only costs 600 coins, and the fact that it only has 40 base damage, that is expected. However, due to the fact that it is a shortbow, it's actually quite a good weapon for like farming mobs, maybe for doing slayers, for mobs that are not immune to range. And overall, it's a pretty decent weapon to use in the very early game. And that's pretty much it, guys. So if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out a ton, and my channel is almost at 100 subscribers. I know it's not a lot, but it's quite a big milestone for me. So if you could subscribe and join the sub 100 team, it'd be awesome. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.